Whenever I play any FPS game, one thing that I tend to notice before anything else is the position of the gun where it's pointing at, which in some games feels off, especially in games like Valorant and CS2 as well as its former version CSGO. This can be noticed fairly easily. The crosshair is at the center where it's supposed to be, but the barrel of the gun seems to be a bit off from the center. It's not symmetric to the crosshair. Now, I'm a person who likes everything to be organized, well balanced and symmetric, visually at least. But this thing makes my OCD kick in. I used to think that this is something that needs to be fixed. It seems like a mistake. Why would the devs do this on purpose, right? It makes no sense. Just change the position of the gun model. It's as simple as that. But when I searched about this, I came to realize that this is not a mistake after all. It's a design choice to make the gun look better because these guns do not fire anything. They are just for visual purpose. They do not fire any bullet. They do not have any other function other than visually enhancing the game. I know it sounds weird at first, but it's not. Allow me to explain. Here is a player model. He gets a different name in every video. In this video, we call him Billy Bob Jr. Suggest a name for the next video in the comments below. So here is our friend Billy Bob holding his gun. He fires at that target. The bullet hits perfectly. Billy has got a really good aim. But that bullet didn't emerge from the gun. It came from somewhere here. This is called hit scan mechanism that is used in a lot of games like Valorant, CS2, Apex Legends, Overwatch and many more. The gun model in these games is added only to make it look like the bullet is coming from the gun. Otherwise it would look weird to not have a gun in a shooter game. And even the bullet is not present in such games. If you play any of these games, you must have noticed that when we hit the fire button, it's an instant hit at the target. The bullet does not have a travel time, it's instant. The first person camera is placed somewhere around here, below the eye level. Now it could be placed at the eye level, but then in some scenarios the player will be able to see the enemies, but the gun model will be down somewhere here. And you will still be able to shoot at the enemy. And this will be a problem. That's why the camera is placed somewhere below the eye level. The other thing that's added to make the players think that the bullet is fired from the gun barrel are these bullet trails. Again, they are just for looks. Here you can see those bullet trails or tracers going through the edge of the wall. But the bullet is hitting the target without any obstruction. This won't be possible if the bullet was actually being fired from the gun. This can be seen in almost all the games that use the hit scan mechanism. All this gives the devs freedom to place the gun as they want, and it's placed in a position that makes the weapon look good rather than realistic, since you can't have everything to behave like real life in a game. Now there is a second mechanism that's used in games that have a bit of realistic approach towards the weapons. It's called the projectile mechanism. In this, the bullet is real, means it follows physics, has a projectile and it emerges from the gun itself. Like you can see here, Billy fires a special gun that shoots slow moving bullets. The bullet is shot from the gun barrel and it hits the target perfectly. Again because Billy has a really good aim. If we move the target far away, he adjusts his aim, fires at the target and hits it like a pro. This time Billy had his crosshair slightly above the target. That's because Billy knows that the bullet is real and follows a projectile. The target is far away and there has to be a bullet drop. He is smart basically. A game that uses this mechanism is PUBG. Players who play this game know that they have to make these adjustments and the bullet does not necessarily has to hit where the crosshair is placed. Distance of target from the gun plays a huge role in this. There are a lot other games that use this mechanism, but I can't recall any game other than PUBG at the moment. If you know such games, let me know in the comments below. This mechanism is indeed more realistic, but it has its own complications. Like the weapon animation has to be kept in mind while changing anything, since it can affect the aim and the bullet travel. And if the gun clips through a mesh in the game, like clipping through a wall, it will eventually shoot through that wall. Like you can see here, I will have to add collision properties to prevent this. Both of these mechanisms have their own pros and cons. It all depends on the nature of the game and choice of the game devs which one they want to use. Now I was kind of surprised when I learned about these gun mechanisms, but there is something even more surprising and weird being used in games that you can see here. I bet you will be surprised to know something like this even happens in games.